stopped it on Detroit.
Yeah, it says Detroit.
Wait a minute for it to say Detroit, and then you stopped it on
Detroit. The film Detroit, anyway. Surely
Yeah,
Eminem's
it's just
got
the
more
one
to do
Detroit.
with Detroit than that.
No,
Kiss aren't even from Detroit, are they?
Probably not.
no, just the song.
And Detroit is so broken. Why are they going there to play gigs? They should be going other places.
They should.
Broken. It's fixed.
So we're
not
starting with Detroit. Overall thoughts.
It's alright.
It was alright.
I liked it. It was good.
It was yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was a bit long.
It was too long.
But it was
They
good.
they could have cut a lot out, and I feel like start on a negative as always. I feel like the actual event in the hotel, it took like 45 minutes for it to get to.
Yeah, it did take quite a while. Yeah.
And,
I don't think there would have been a problem if the trailer wasn't just that event.
Yeah.
Because from the trailer, it was pretty much like, well, like we said about that, the interrogation bit looked like it was a massive part of the film. Oh, it looked like it was like something long, like
Yeah.
back and forth, but it wasn't. It was just this scene, this scene, this scene, this scene, which is
Yeah.
fine, but then don't sell it different in the trailer.
Yeah. It was, because then I was expecting something different, and then I was kind of sat there waiting for that bit. And so, but I felt like a lot of the scenes leading up to it, they didn't really necessarily need anyway.
Was the singer even in the trailer?
Was the what in the trailer?
Singer.
The singer? No, I don't think
I
the
don't
singer
think
or the
so.
band were in
Like,
the trailer.
Half of them at the end, I was like, have they been in it yet?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing them.
Yeah.
And then I realised that he just replaced him at the end because he went and joined the choir, but that wasn't really the point.
That was a good part though. Like, I enjoyed that whole. I enjoyed his story because you sort of saw him starting out all hopeful, and then by the end, obviously, he was like less than hopeful.
Crippled by the man.
Yeah.
Thought he was going to beat the cops with his singing.
Yeah. I have to say, actually, at times it felt like trying to overcome like an obstacle and like achieve your dreams kind of thing, which I wasn't sure on. Yeah. So I wasn't sure on that, but I did like it. But I think a big problem with it was what you said, Leo, about them like cutting in like real footage, and
Extra out of it.
yeah, it takes you right out of it. And I think the problem is you can't make it look similar enough that it sort of is a like a continuing thing.
Yeah, the problem as well, especially with the real life footage, is filmed pretty badly, to be honest, as well. So it looks even worse anyway. It's not like it's filmed well.
What the
The real life footage.
yeah.
Like half of it as well, we had like cracks down the middle of the footage and everything, where obviously
Whereas this
beating out the camera.
Yeah, and
Use it at the end. The end's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
it would have been better if they put it all at the end, I think.
I'm going to say this in the video now, like remember, spoilers for everything we talk about.
Yeah.
Major spoilers.
Major spoilers, yeah. But it was good. I think it would have been better if they'd like taken parts, like a lot of big parts. No, if they'd left. There was some really, really good bits, and I feel like they could have had a whole film with all the good bits that they had, just chopping bits out because there were scenes that you didn't need or things that I already knew, and they sort of went over again. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they even necessarily needed so many. The thing is, I think that's always the problem when you're basing it on something true, is that, because I was just going to say, I don't think they needed all of those characters, but obviously they were all there in real life, so you can't just cut them out. But maybe they didn't need to like touch on them quite as much or focus on them quite as much, because I feel like you kind of just needed like 4 or 5 people in that lineup that you were focusing on, like the 2 girls and then maybe like 2 or 3 others or something like that. But I don't know, it just felt like, I don't know, a bit confusing. Maybe not.
I think what they did with those characters as well, though, and that's why I think quite refreshing from the start, is it wasn't like, well, for starters, it didn't make out that white people are all arseholes.
No.
They were like, everyone had their own sort of, I'd say really their own sort of ideas about race and sort of, I mean, they probably were a bit racist, but then I mean with the main cop, I mean when it starts with him shooting the guy and he's chasing him, he kind of, from that point, it's kind of like, is he doing that because he's just racist, or is he doing it because he thinks that's his job to stop looters? He doesn't. I know he's pretty damn crazy in it, but he doesn't always come across as completely.
Because he has that whole speech. He has that whole speech in the car. Not a speech, but like he says about we're really letting these people down, and like left, right, and centre, and we need to make sure that we're like looking after them and stuff. And then he obviously jumps out of the car, chases that guy down, shoots him twice in the back, and you're like,
Didn't mean it, mate.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, but I didn't. I couldn't work out whether that. At first, I thought, oh, he's just nuts, and he just thinks that like that is helping them. But then, obviously, as it goes on, you see that he is just insanely racist. And
But it's really weird because he has the bit with John Boyega where he's like, "But you're a solid dude, though." And so I mean, it's quite odd with bits of it because
I think it's,
What,
I think
at
it's
the
more,
end
it's just
after the
him being
court
mental,
case?
isn't it?
no, he says before the court case. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's
he
in the
says
middle
you-
when they take a recess. He says it
Yeah.
then because he goes out and throws up, doesn't he? He comes back in. And,
oh
Yeah,
yeah, but I
so-
didn't
but
feel
I
like
think
that
it
was
was more him
sincere
winding
though.
it up. Yeah, he was obviously like winding him up, or because there was all the stuff with him being interrogated, wasn't it? So he obviously was
They were
saying
sort
it's
of letting him
been-
in. They weren't like holding him out of the room or anything, were they? If you get, I mean, they
No.
weren't kind of like, oh, just stay back. Like we're worried what he's gonna think or anything
Mm.
like that. And I mean, you had the one soldier. I couldn't work out what soldier was the one that let the guy run out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think he was
that-
just
yeah.
drafted in, and he was like, "Do you know what, mate? Go for it."
Yeah, I
Right.
think yeah.
He was like the one with the conscience.
It's really nice. It's really interesting because the few soldiers where John Boyega went over to them and gave them, I think it was tea or coffee.
Yeah.
They're all sort of. It's the kind of interesting. They weren't being entirely racist. They were trying to not be with that kind of.
I think yeah, they were kind
Yeah.
of trying not to be, but kind of
Wow.
were anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the whole generation thing, isn't it? I think that was quite nice. It wasn't ever like completely against him. It was that
No.
whole kind of.
I felt really sad at that bit actually when he took them coffee because I was like, feels like he has to go and like make a gesture to like make it okay that he's even there. But
Well, he does say, doesn't he? If you give any black guy authority, then I don't know, stuff happens.
yeah. But I think it
Just
was
maybe
good.
it's
I
not
think
that fun,
overall, like it was. I was going to say it kept my attention. That's not what I mean. It
I
did
don't know,
keep my
it
attention.
did for me. Like I thought it was all like. I think you the beginning bit is a bit dragged out. Like for the point they're trying to make that it's obviously just kicking off. It
Yeah.
didn't really need to take 45 minutes to get that.
No.
But once it got into the house, I was pretty hooked all the way to the
Yeah,
end.
yeah, that whole bit.
But then I think the only thing was because they like the bit in the house kind of they made it seem like that was the climax of the film,
Yeah,
and then they had the court case. It was almost like that little bit was on the end.
yeah.
So that kind of for me it broke it up a little bit, which
Yeah.
like kind of ruined it a little bit.
I wish it had been like almost like a 5-minute thing of not like a montage, but like a 5-minute
No,
sort
yeah,
of
they
lead
could
up
have
to the
done it.
house, and this is what's going on, and this is this character, this is this character, and then we sort of learnt more about them while they were in that house. That I think could have been a lot more. That was the only thing, like. Even though there was like obviously really horrific murders and like torture and stuff going on in the house, I didn't feel like it was that suspenseful. Like I wasn't like, oh my god, something's gonna happen. I don't know
No.
why. I knew it was awful, and I kept going like, oh my god, that's awful. But I wasn't like, you kind of like feel really tense the whole time, and then it finishes and you go, oh my god, that was really horrible. I didn't really feel like that, and I think it's because it had taken such a long time to get there. And I kind of felt like I knew that was coming anyway. And then the court case bit felt really rushed, and I thought that was like one of the most interesting bits would have been the court case. And I know like they said they didn't have necessarily like a lot of footage or a lot of like accounts to go off of. That's what it seemed like in that bit at the end. But
Yeah.
I feel like I wish it had been more
You could have
about that.
halved and halved it a bit more.
Yeah.
Because you could have done the whole bit in the house and still got a feel of what was going on in Detroit. You didn't need to show like 3 or 4 riots
No.
and then be like, then this bit in the house happens, because you already knew it was kicking off there anyway.
Yeah.
And anyone with half brain knows that Detroit's like a complete mess.
Yeah, and if anything,
doesn't really
use all
matter.
that footage, that like real footage, just use all of that at the start and
Yeah,
go, this is
yeah.
how bad it was, and now here's the film, and now here's a little like wrap up with some more
Mm-hmm.
footage at the end. I don't know if that's like, if I'm just, because that's what I'm used to seeing in those kinds of films, but I think it's used a lot because it works. I think when you
Yeah,
cut
they
it
could have
in
done
like that, unless you're really clever with it, I think it really breaks the film up, and then you like, yeah, I like you said, Leo, I
Plus-
think you do get really taken
Also,
out
just
of it.
condense the film completely down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
It's
it seemed like
way
it
too
could just
long.
be in the hotel.
Mm.
But to be honest, you're saying about holding attention. To be honest, I found that it got a bit boring in the middle
Mm.
because there was too much time with them up against the wall going, tell me who's got the gun. Like it was
Yeah,
cool, but it was so long. And they
yeah.
kept saying the same thing, and you said about
Yeah.
even repeating audio. It's like if you'd stretch
They
that
did
out,
actually, yeah. A couple
even
when
more.
they repeated some of the audio
Yeah.
inside the house, and it went outside the house, and then they played it again, and I was like, I've literally just heard that. Like that was a bit messy.
it's good in the house, but you could have. I wouldn't want that any longer. Just cut some of the film
Yeah.
off, like still make it in like the intro or obvious or a bit more what's going
Yeah.
on. But
And I'm not saying you have to like stick to exactly what's in the trailer, because we're always complaining about how they like show you the whole film in the trailer. So that's not what I want them to do. But they really hinted at in the trailer that there was this obviously event that went on, and that it was obviously white police officers that did it, and then it looked like John Boyega's character was like suspected of killing those kids in the house because he was black, basically. I thought that scene with him was so good, with those two cops when they were questioning him, and you were like, they're gonna pin this on him. This is definitely, and again, that's the thing when it's like something that actually happened. You can't just like make up the end. But I really thought they've got him for this. It's the same weapon, huh?
Or it's going to build to something.
And that literally, they did that bit with him. They went to court. Yeah, and that was it. Like, they didn't mention that again. Yeah,
that's the thing. He's a very good actor, and he was completely wasted.
Yeah,
they didn't really need, like, for what they must have paid him, which I've got to be honest, must have been a lot. Because of Star Wars. Yeah, they could have got somewhat like a younger, unknown actor in. Yeah, that probably would have been just as good. I mean, that whole scene was very well done, but it's almost like they paid for him just for that bit. Yeah, because he didn't really say anything for the rest of the film.
I think that's the problem when you have like a really well-known actor. You expect they're going to do something.
Yeah, exactly. Because Will Poulter was very good. I thought he was excellent, but he wouldn't really be able to sell tickets. I don't think. Like, he's not that big an actor.
Yeah.
Also, the poster I'd only noticed when I saw this on the bus and we were out yesterday. Is John Boyega? I'm pretty sure he's wearing handcuffs, and he's got police officers both sides of him. Which is really interesting, because I don't think that has. I think that's about 2 seconds they get put him into a cell. Do they? Yeah, they do put him into a cell. But that was the poster. That's interesting. And so it's just the like metaphorical like imagery there. But saying that as well, they had Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Falcon. Yeah. He wasn't really used either.
No, that was that was strange. Again, it's more like
John Krasinski was that
get
lawyer.
Black actors in because you can, and you don't. You don't need. You didn't need him to be in it. Like, I don't know, it annoyed me a bit.
But then they probably got those. She probably got them because she can, because obviously based on her other films.
Probably would like.
Because he's in the Hurt Locker, isn't he? Anthony Mackie's in the Hurt Locker, isn't he?
I think he is.
He is. Jeremy Renner and him, isn't it?
Yeah.
She did do Hurt Locker, didn't she?
Yeah, she did Hurt Locker and she did Zero Dark 30. And a cop film that I cannot remember the name of.
No.
Who was just pulling strings. She thought I used him. Plus, the ending was exactly the same as Dunkirk.
What?
Literally exactly. They had him saying stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Then, like, something happened. Then it went quiet and it just focused on the guy's face, and then it finished.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So it was literally exactly the same.
It went in the same battle.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, it was the same thing. It was like them talking, and then it just completely went quiet, focused on the guy's face, and then cut.
Yeah.
I don't rate this compared to Hurt Locker and
Zero Dark 30. No.
We should probably say Catherine Bigelow, because we haven't said her name yet.
Yeah, performance-wise, there were good performances in it, but that was probably about it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good enough story to be able to tell. I mean, at the end of the day, it's another just like white police are evil films.
You must didn't mind that because you didn't feel as bad as that.
No,
because I thought
I don't think it was like completely. This race is good, this race is bad, which is something that I did really like about it, because it was more just people. Like, you had obviously
it was definitely him more than anything.
Or
them three.
You had them in the house, and then obviously the singer, I can't remember his name, but he ran out of the house, and then you had that really lovely guy. Like, oh my god, who could do this to someone? I did not rate that line, by the way. Like, he could have just helped him to the car and taken him to the hospital, and I would have gone, he's a good guy. Don't need to go, oh my god, who could do this to someone? I thought that was a bit like, alright, I get it. But I that was something I really liked about it, actually, that I didn't feel like it was white people are good, black people are good, whatever side you choose. It was just people.
I think that's the other choice. This is this time. The whole like tagline was "It's time we knew," or "It's time." Yeah, I think it's time we knew.
Yeah.
But it's all still. I mean, whatever they've used, you don't. I knew everything already, obviously.
I really knew.
No, but like they don't. But it's kind of weird because if you know about Detroit, then you know about, but it doesn't really cover much. It's not like, okay, so other documentaries that we watch or films that we're like, oh shit, so that's what happened.
Yeah.
But this is still really kind of sketchy because it's like, well, this is we haven't actually got all the information.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a definitive.
Yeah,
this is exactly what happened. No.
It's almost like a small event. Which, let's be honest, things like that probably happened every night.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not really that much.
No. And I'm sure they've just picked that one to show it, but
because John Boyega was involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah. No, I liked it, but yeah, cut like at least 30, maybe 40 minutes out of it. And yeah, it would have been better, I think.
The main frustrations with it are, I think it's more the event as opposed to the film. Like, the frustration is, why does no one say there's a toy gun in the house? When they keep asking, why do they never say, yeah, the gun? Because they all knew it. A lot of them knew it. I know the singer's one in the room when he was firing out the window, but they were in that room when he like did the whole like joke.
Yeah.
Why did no one say he had a toy? Like, just admit it
They
to them
said
at that
it
point.
in court,
I think
didn't
you're
they,
gonna
as
die.
well? As soon as they got them in court, they said it.
Yeah,
But I think it was more.
Say as well,
Yeah, the girl said in the house it was a toy gun, and then it carried on. But it's like, but why would you not say that? Like, as soon as you feel under threat.
Well, I think it was. Yeah, I did think that, to be fair, but I think thinking about it after, it's probably just like, oh, I don't want to say anything because if I say there's a gun, they're going to kill me. If they
Right,
admitted
well, I
to
guess if
having
they
a
said
weapon
there's
and
a-
shooting, then they would have. Yeah.
Yeah, but they thought they were dying anyway, didn't they? Because they get put into the room and
Yeah.
killing him.
Yeah.
But some really good performances. Yeah, what I was going to say about Will Pol... How do you say it?
Eyebrow Man.
Eyebrow Man.
Will Poulter, I think.
Will
it says.
Poulter.
Poulter. Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be Poulter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought he was really good. Apart from that one bit that I'll say in a minute. But I thought he was really good. But what I mean about saying that he seemed too young, I would have preferred it if he'd gone in and seemed like I'm young and I'm gonna like, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Not I don't know what I'm doing, but like he was being stupid about what he was doing because he was young. But I feel like he was trying to play it really old. I feel like he was trying to play it
Sure,
like
take
10
the
years
mom,
older than he
wasn't
was,
He
and
must
be
be
like, I'm
26, 27.
yeah,
isn't he?
I don't know.
He just doesn't look it.
I don't know how old. I don't know how old he is, but yeah, no, I felt like he was trying to play it older than he was, which is yeah.
Maybe that's based on again, but the stuff. The trouble with all this stuff, like any criticism like this, is the same with what I've just said about what's frustrating about it. Is this could just be because that's the event where that's how the people were, and they've picked the actor, and he could have played it really well. And it's just
do you know what I
the-
mean though? I feel like either they needed to pick an older actor. Don't get me wrong.
24.
Oh, he's
He was
24.
only
Yeah,
older
see,
than
I
me.
think he was playing it like he was like mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Do you know what I mean? If he'd just been like an idiot because he was young and stupid
So
and
then
like
the
a
other
horrible
guy.
person, obviously.
Yeah.
But I
the other
felt
two
like-
were worse, weren't they? They were more like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he played it too hard. Don't get me wrong though, because I think he was really, really good. Apart from the bit when he went in the room, you know, where they were shooting them and they were saying, like, right, they like fired a shot and they were saying, right, now be quiet or the next one's for real. Keep your head down. And he went in and he looked around the room for such a long time. And he's like rubbing his head and he like put his hand over his mouth and he's like. He's escaped, and I was like, obviously, it was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing for ages. I thought it was so bad, but yeah, no, he was really good apart from that. But yeah, it was good. It was alright. As I said, just cut, and it would have been a lot better. I think.
I wonder what bits are made. So I was just thinking this because the only people in the room were the cops, and you know the last guy, the singer's. He said it was the singer's bodyguard.
Yeah.
He got shot at the end towards the end because he wouldn't say he didn't see anything. He kept saying, "Oh, the body's on the floor. He's right there."
Oh, what when he was saying? Yeah.
What do you see here?
You can go if you say nothing, basically. Yeah,
pretty much, yeah. Who knows that's what happened? That must be made up because he's dead, so he can't say anything. And the cops, that cop probably didn't say this is what happened unless his friends gave statements on that because I think they were in the room as well, weren't they?
Yeah, well,
or at least the flicky, wavy hair cop was in there.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah,
we call them?
I think because they were saying it to everybody before they left, like you can go if you pretend you don't see anything, and then obviously he was left in there.
But anything could have happened still. Unless
Yeah, no,
unless
it
the
could,
cops
yeah,
did that,
absolutely it could, but yeah, I
wonder
think
if
that
they've
was
assumed
probably-
bits like that, or they've actually happened.
I think a lot of it must have been assumed, to be honest, because well, actually not a lot of it, but like bits where people went into the room and died. Like you know when they were playing the death game, but the cop actually shot the guy.
God, that was.
You can't say that that's what happened, I guess, because the cops didn't really speak a lot, did they?
Well, they must have omitted something. They
must
gave
have
statements,
omitted
didn't
it,
they? So they probably, she probably said, we were playing this and I took him in and I shot him. So maybe, I mean, that's what I mean. If they were there, I could believe that. Maybe that's the statements they gave.
Bits like that are absolutely horrible. Like, I think that's really frightening that they can have given statements basically saying, yeah, I murdered 2 people, 3 people, whatever, and they didn't, nothing
They
happened.
passed off.
Yeah. Anyway.
Should we leave it there?
Very
Do
good.
scores?
Very good.
Very.
Scores out of, what are we doing? 10.
10.
Leo?
Can we go point? It doesn't have to be 0.5, then it can be
It can be whatever you would like.
7.7.
So, what? Yeah.
Ooh.
Billy?
Oh, I was going to say 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7 as well.
Well, I'm just nicer than you two.
21 point. What did you say? 7
7.
point.
7.7. 21 point.
0.7. Yeah.
Yeah, 21.7 altogether out of 30.
21.7 out of 30.
I can't remember what
That's
we gave
not
the other
bad.
films.
Not bad.
I would have liked it more had I not been expecting more from her,
Yeah.
because I do very much like Hurt Locker and
Yeah.
Dark 30, and I watch the other films because I don't.
Yeah.
Finally.
Not the best. Not the best.
It's all right. It's
Moving
interesting.
on to big time spoilers.
Big up the spoilers.
Game of Thrones.
If you're not up to date, do not listen to this,
Yeah, turn it off right now.
and don't go on YouTube either, because you definitely get spoiled on that somehow.
Ah.
I like a picture of the White Walker Dragon.
Oh.
But yeah, the open eye.
Just open
Yeah,
up with
I'll
that.
put it
shall we?
in.
This looks like a tagline, something that's put on the my first note for this. The wall is down.
The wall is down.
Wall is, well, a bit of the wall's down.
Yeah, not all of it.
Well, most of it.
Not
Well, enough that they can walk
Enough
through.
is down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They don't have to
Enough
climb over
Enough
the
of the wall is
Not
down.
really. They could rebuild. They could probably rebuild.
That'd take
Could
ages.
rebuild.
How did they build that in the first place? It's so
Oh, I
high.
explained this to you.
Just
I didn't
couple
explain
of-
how they did it. I
A couple
explained
lumps of ice.
the old brand, the builder stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I know, but I don't know how you build a wall. Anyway.
Put
Doesn't
some ice
matter.
cubes in the water when it's up into a wave.
Bit of
freeze
bricks
it
and
Oh
cement.
yeah, no, it just sticks.
Sticks all together.
as
Dragon
always,
comes along.
I would say penultimate episode was better than the last episode. Again, I think.
Yeah, it's because we love the White Wall. Because
Yeah,
we
but
love watching them wreck.
yeah, no, I know, but I still think the penultimate was a better episode than the last.
Yeah, I
Because
would
it's
say
tense
so, yeah,
again.
I would
Because you've
say
got a
so.
crowd of people you love.
Yeah.
You're watching them fight. Whereas
Plus, it was a
that
bit
last
different.
episode-
It wasn't something like that hadn't really happened before.
No.
I mean, they've gone beyond the wall, but not really. They don't really sim much, have they?
Whenever
No.
you have like a crew running off doing stuff, I love it in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like a sci-fi like sort of
Yeah, because
like
they're normally
feel
useless.
to stuff. Like when you have like little run-off crews together, it's
Yeah.
hilarious. Like that bit, like the episode when you had Jorah and Daria go off together. I love
Yeah.
just when you have like a few of the characters run off together
Yeah.
and the characters that you like.
Well, because that's when you actually see them sort of forming relationships and talking to each other.
Tyrion
It's
and
when
Jorah
they're
on the
not.
boat.
Yeah, exactly. It's when that
Oh yeah. Before we
Rare
got,
that they're not
zombified.
trying to kill each
Brian
other.
and Jamie.
Yeah.
It's always when
Oh,
they're
I
off
love
separate.
that.
Tag
Yeah.
team episodes.
Yeah, they are.
they
the
all
best.
reunite this episode on the opposite teams.
Yeah, it's
You're
just
saying
that
they're
every
like, good to
reunite
see you.
reunion that you could want was in this episode.
Yeah.
Basically, apart from John and Bran the Muffin Man.
Yeah. I did love it, and it was really exciting to see them all together finally. Like, it's
Yeah.
really
Even though
seen
you
it
could tell they just
before.
wanted to kill each other.
Yeah, but I love that though, and I felt it was quite an element of comedy about it. I thought actually because they were all like trying to talk, but like half
I'm
of
like,
them.
no, I'm talking.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking.
Yeah.
And Cersei's there with a bitch face. Like, do you know what? I'm just gonna kill all of you in my
Yeah.
undead zombie mountain man
Yeah. Oh God,
until
he looks
The hell does he?
terrifying
His,
now.
they've completely changed his look and his eyes. I'm
yeah, he's
pretty
all
sure. He
black
looked-
and stuff
Mountain.
now.
No, I
know
don't mean
he was
like
darker,
because he's
but
infected, but he looked when he was first infected and they showed him.
He's
He
more like
looked
green,
different to
though.
what he does now. His
Yeah.
eyes were a different colour. I'm
I
pretty
think
sure.
he looks
Just
awesome.
got worse.
He
He's
looks- yeah, he definitely
terrifying.
He's just not getting his beauty sleep. Maybe they haven't done
Yeah,
anything
he's
to him.
dead.
Yeah.
A little
he's
disappointed he
good.
didn't face off with the Hound yet. Maybe they're saving
Yeah,
that for the last
that's what I mean. They've
series
got
or-
so much to fit in next season. For 8 episodes, they've got a lot to fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's takes so long to film it. It's out till 2019.
Oh, is that definite? It's not until
Yeah,
2019.
apparently, yeah.
That's gutting.
It still can be.
They said
but-
unless they can bring it
Yeah.
forward, but I don't see like unless they can bring it out by what I would have said like April, so it's back in its normal slot or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not going to bring it out by August. They might as well just put it in April and then a year
Yeah.
after. where it
Oh, so
normally
it's like
was
a
or
year and a
something.
half.
Yeah.
That's so long. That's
what
more
she-
than a year and a half. Oh
It's
well.
very upsetting.
So-
You can't even read the books to get
No.
get past that point because they're not even there yet.
No.
Hmm.
Hopefully it'll be worth the wait. I think it probably will
I think
be.
it will be. It's definitely going to kick. They need to either have a White Walk battle in the first episode, or at least the second one.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
have an all-out
King's
war for
Landing's
all of
got to
them.
be at least in episode 4 or 5, surely, because they're
Yeah.
going to do a Lord of the Rings and have like a 3-hour fallout of everything that's happened, or whatever. long
It
was.
just needs to be
Then they're going to have to do that.
a war for the whole series. You can have like talking moments. You can have like conversation stuff. You can just because obviously
They
a
just
war.
need
It's
to
not a
go and
battle.
absolutely
It's a
destroy
war.
each other. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah.
I reckon the White King, or was it the Night King should win?
Night King. The White King.
He don't muck about. He
Not
looks
back on
after. He
Detroit
looks
now.
after his people. They are very well trained. They stop when they're supposed to stop. They
They're
don't move
slow. Why are they all slow?
So just walk in circles.
because they're all
Yeah.
dead.
True.
They ain't got any muscles.
can run.
Just bones and stuff. That's why they're. And then Night King's got a dragon, so he's not slow, is he?
No.
Well, he only had a horse for that, and the horse was pretty Ming Mong, but it's he's traded that in now. Imagine he's giving it to someone else.
I was really surprised to see him riding the dragon already. I thought they would save that. I thought that would like open the next series. I thought that would be him riding the dragon.
He looks
I actually
better
think they
riding
should
the
have
dragon
saved it.
than Daenerys does riding the dragon. I don't know if that's because he is CGI. And maybe that's why, because he looks. Because when Daenerys rides, it looks like he's.
I think he's got so much makeup on that
So
it
is he
looks
CGI
better.
though?
Well, no,
Or
it's an actor, isn't it? With
Well, yeah, I know it's obviously an
prosthetics,
actor,
but
but
it's-
like, is any of him CGI?
there
Is
must
it
be
all-
because he's glowing a little bit, isn't he?
Oh,
He has a lovely glow to
Plus, I
him.
suppose his eyes glow.
They're quite misty, aren't they? Whenever they come, all of
Yeah,
them
they're
is like
quite
a little bit of
white,
a mist.
Which is why they're probably called White Walkers.
Yeah. No. I think they should have saved him. Oh, maybe.
But then I suppose the wall
No,
had to
because
come down.
if we didn't get that bit at the end, we'd been disappointed at the end of
if
that
the wall
episode.
didn't come down, because again, that would have been something they had to include next season, which would have just been another thing.
Yeah,
There's
that's
already
true.
enough to go, because I mean, Euron's gone off on his little rescue mission with his balls of steel, and then
Balls of
Bran
steel.
is still off being miserable and doing his thing.
Yeah.
Sam is now back in Winterfell, and then there's Jaime's rode off to the north to help kill the White Walkers with one arm.
He's going to turn up to
then-
the White Walkers and be like, where's everyone else?
Yeah.
I've come here, I've joined you. Because
Yeah.
it's already snowing where he is, so.
I imagine Brienne of Tarth's probably going to follow him with what's his name? Piggly? What's his name?
We could never remember either. What is it?
What is it?
Podrick.
Podrick, that's it. Piggly.
Piggly.
We were like pig,
Piggly.
pog,
Piggy Pop.
pig, pan, pig, pong,
Something like that. Isn't
ping. I wish it was called ping. No, yeah.
it? Yeah.
Found out. Well, actually saying that about work, got that right. It said Jon and Daenerys getting it on.
Oh,
They did.
oh no.
Do you think, because I'm pretty sure the scene ended with those two looking at each other, like a bit of distance between them. They both stop and stare at each other.
Yeah, but
Either he's gone too
Bit
quickly,
premature.
yeah, and she's like, "Are you done?" Or it's because they feel like they're
I mean, maybe
Related.
they could hear Bran and Sam talking really far away, and they were like, "Hold up,
what?
we're related."
no, I think
She can feel his dragon.
Oh.
She could. Maybe it's scaly.
Oh, come on. I think no, I think it was just meant to be a like, oh, we're doing this kind of like.
Yeah. After all this looking at each other lovingly,
Yeah.
we're actually getting it on now.
Yeah. Oh no, not another
Incestuous Lannister moment.
brother sister duo. Just gross. Oh.
Auntie nephew.
Yeah, so we
Which
worked
they're
out
they're like the same age, aren't they?
as he. What?
They're like the same age, right?
Who?
Yeah, I think so.
John and Daenerys, whatever you say, I bloody know.
The dairies.
Daenerys.
Piggly.
Yeah, he's her brother.
No.
No, she's her. She is his aunt.
I thought.
No.
at
Okay. Wait.
At
Okay.
first,
John-
I thought that he was her nephew.
Yeah, that is it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
then we
Daenerys'
went-
brother
Yeah.
is Jon's father. So it's
Is it?
yeah.
Yeah, so she's his auntie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daenerys' brother is John's
What
dad.
the one
Oh.
the one that had his gold head blown off.
Gold head blow off.
He can't be his
A growl
dad.
like it was.
It
No,
was,
they're
yeah.
like the same
Nah, it was.
age.
No, but not that brother. Not the one in the another brother that you never see.
Oh, I
Another
thought
brother
it was
from
the
another mother.
Brother from
It wasn't. It was just one of her brothers. I'm
That
pretty
makes
sure.
more
Don't
sense.
talk bringing another mother. I'm confusing that. Right. So she's,
They're related. It's not right. Okay, let's just
Okay,
leave it at that.
but she's his aunt.
Yeah.
That's not as bad as sister.
No,
Is it?
I mean, it's still.
Is it? Is it?
Still,
Are you really gonna put it down
they're
to
still,
that?
they're still related.
Yeah, no, it's not
I mean,
good.
it's not
don't get
bad
me
as
wrong.
sister, but it's still up there.
It's up there. It's pretty bad.
If they were gonna use Ed Sheeran at any moment, I'd want him singing in the background of that scene of them doing it
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
any other moment.
Yeah. Should this be? No. Oh, that was the.
Worst cameo of all
It's
time.
literally ridiculous. I can't believe they put him in it. I can believe it because
Oh, it should have been on the wall.
pissed me right off.
Yeah.
It should have been when he came and burnt the wood and ah! And then it just
Yeah.
straight through him, burnt
would
him.
have been
Is
better.
Tormund still alive, do we reckon?
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
They would have shown him
If
dying.
you don't
he
see a
died.
body, they're coming back for sure.
Yeah.
And like you
Even
said,
if you do
part
see
of
a
that
body,
wall-
He's got
sometimes
to
they
go
come
tell
back.
the tale, isn't he, to John?
Mm.
He was like, I'll wait for you to finish
Yeah.
shagging her, but
and part of that wall was still up, even though
Dragon.
he was pretty much. I'm pretty sure he was on the opposite
Yeah,
side that went
it
down.
was about to go. The bit
I
that he was
imagine,
on.
knowing like TV and film, he will probably be the one that like races to Winterfell all godly. As like, there's White Walkers coming, mate. We need to
Collapses
sort this
right
out.
in front of where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Thank God he doesn't fall any further away.
It's
Yeah.
like, guys, sort it out. There's White Walkers coming.
I
Yeah.
don't know who else is at the wall with him. Where's Gendry?
I think it's a
and-
bunch of nobodies, to be honest.
I don't
Well, he
think-
had the one eye patch. He's not got 2 eye patches, is he?
I hope
Big-
not. Can't see anything.
You
Yeah.
didn't see Gangrene after that. What's his name? Gendry? What was it?
Gangrene.
They've all got
Gangrene.
such
Nobody
weird
fit.
names. Yeah, like you didn't see him, did you? He collapsed and then you didn't see him again.
They
I
would-
think there's probably quite a few of them alive. And if not, they probably rode a bit of ice down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It
a
was-
sled.
there's- Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. If they're alive, it's ridiculous. But I think they probably are alive because Ed Sheeran's in it, so anything goes.
Hmm.
Now,
Yeah, there's always a lot. There's probably more stairs along the wall. I can't imagine there's just the one set that the White Walkers knocked down,
Probably slides down it.
and then yeah, oh,
Build
yeah.
slides easy. then.
straight down the middle of it.
Yeah.
That's why the White fell down. It's too many slides in it. Weakened it.
You could abseil that. There's not enough time for that.
Do they have rope in those days?
In those days.
Like
I
long
think
enough
so.
bits of rope. I was supposed to have
They
those.
have rope and more
If
rope.
they had those chains
Shit.
enough to pull the dragon
Fuck,
out.
the
of the water.
boats work. You'd-
Anyway, there's definitely rope. Yeah, but there was not enough time to abseil.
Other big moment. Motherfucker got it. Littlefinger is dead.
Oh, yes!
I wish it was more
yeah.
brutal.
I
Yeah.
quite liked it. Stabbed straight in his thing that he uses his most, his neck.
What?
Oh, it's just-
Well, he was still
he
trying to
taught
talk,
him.
wasn't
He
when
got his
when she
vocal
did it.
box.
Yeah, showing his vocal cords.
Yeah.
And he was still trying to talk then. I was like, dude, shut up and die.
Yeah.
Shut up and die, die, die.
yeah.
Kind of wish that Sansa would have gone to. If I
Yeah, I
just,
thought
I
she was
just turned around,
gonna
and was like, throw a
Do you know
knife,
what? He's
throw a
got it
neck.
as well. I quite like Sansa.
Oh, you would.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm glad he's dead, but because you know when you worked out that obviously they were plotting against him, not the other way round, and we were like, oh, and I was like, oh no, that means Sansa's gonna live now, and I was a little bit upset because I thought for sure she was gonna die. I don't like her at all.
I think the scene was a bit stupid,
I
but it was just funny because every time they were like, you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Littlefinger, even though that's not his name, I'm going to call him that. Littlefinger, they're like, oh!
Yeah.
Just shouting out loud at it, but
Yeah.
it kind of was a bit of a stupid. Because was Bran in on it?
Bran the
Yeah,
Muffin Man.
he was
He looked really funny.
He
No, I know,
knows
but like,
everything. He knows everything.
He saw it.
why were they playing? Well, what was the whole performance of having Arya stood in front of it? Because she was in on it.
Yeah.
I see. Well, what was the point of setting up and not just going, Littlefinger, you fuck, mate?
Well, because I
Why
think
did
that was
they
the
go-
point. They were trying to keep him like
Yeah.
thinking he's in the know till the last minute, and now then like, you're dead.
Oh, I guess. But what a waste of time. You got fucking dead walking towards you and you're wasting your time
Yeah,
trying
but
to
they don't
trick
know
people.
that, do they?
No.
Throwing him a surprise death party.
Mr. Brand decides he's not going to share that information with them to keep him alive. He's just keeping it to himself.
Yeah,
rolling
why
around.
hasn't he told them?
'Cause he's a knob. He just doesn't care, does
I
he?
Told
Okay.
them what? About John?
No, why hasn't
All
he
the
told
White
them?
Walkers. He doesn't know. Like, he hasn't told him yet, has he?
Yeah.
Well, Sansa knows because that's where they fucked off, wasn't it? John fucked off to go to meet Daenerys to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
to her about. She
Mm.
must know about. She's just not
Well, yeah,
seen
well, I
them.
don't think she knows that they're like
She doesn't,
literally about to knock on her front door.
yeah, she doesn't know.
Knock all of her front doors in.
She doesn't know it's an imminent
Well, we're
threat.
here to kill you now.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad
well,
she doesn't
dragon.
know because I want him to get fucking mowed down.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen, though, is it? Everyone's going to go and defend Winterfell while the White Walkers just get burnt by the dragons.
Apart from Cersei.
Yeah, apart from Cersei.
Well, they've
She's
got. Yeah, but
not
think
dead.
about this now. Well, people are going to get wrecked on both sides because the moment you've got dragons, he's got a dragon now who breathes blue fire.
Yeah. I
That's
don't.
going to wreck everyone as well. Regardless
but
if she's
she's
got
still
two
got,
dragons,
What's his
he's
name?
got spears. He's going to be riding a dragon, throwing spears at her dragons.
Won't have any spears left, though. I've only had two.
Fucking craft some more.
Craft some more. I don't understand Cersei's thinking because exactly what Jamie said to her that if she stays, then either the dead are gonna get them, or if they manage to
She's got
defeat the White Walkers, then the others gonna be like, "Well, you didn't help us, so now we're gonna kill you instead."
She's a fucking idiot, and she's
Well, I
just,
don't-
it's
yeah, but
just
I don't
stubbornness, isn't it? Though.
Yeah, but I don't understand what her plan is.
I think she
to
has
attack
one.
them. They're taking back. They said they're going to take back land. Well, no, because her plan is to get the. Well, her plan is to get the Golden Company. So these people we don't know about, Cersei's secret men. You would have heard that had the thing not have crashed.
Stop recording a second ago. It was way funnier the first time. When I said about Cersei's secret men.
Yeah. I don't think they've been mentioned in the TV series before. They've been mentioned in books, and I've read a bit about the Golden Company because they're to do, strangely, with another Targaryen who's called, I think it's Aegon, which is what Jon's called. So they might just cut that story out and called Jon Aegon instead.
Oh, okay.
But they are basically meant to be absolute elite fighters. So it's like just about the Battle of the Bastards and just bringing in like the surprises, little things, man. It's going to be like, here's the Golden Army to level things again.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really annoying if they haven't been mentioned before because it's just like
Pull them out of the
pulling them out, yeah, and then it's like she can't ever be beaten then. If you just keep pulling like new stuff out.
We don't know how good they are. They
No,
could
no,
get
I
wrecked.
know,
Just-
but you know,
they
do you know
could
what I
be
mean?
rubbish.
It's like just bringing out
Maybe they
something
just-
that we didn't ever know about. It's like having a whole battle and then being like, oh, actually, they've got a bear.
What old bear?
Bear.
Yeah.
Old bear.
Maybe they just fucked up. Maybe when they just killed all of Cersei's fighters,
Yeah.
Cersei's men, not secret ones. When they just killed all of those, enough like a few episodes ago, maybe they're like, oh fuck. How she didn't do
Yeah.
anything? She's not got an army. Oh bloody shit.
We're gonna have to bring in
Have to-
the secret compass.
Bloody shit.
The bloody shitters. But I mean,
I suppose she needs to. Yeah, she needs to even the odds because they now got 2 dragons, and Jamie's obviously fought peace out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go join them.
it'd be very cool if there was a three-way battle. It'd be very cool, right? If you had Cersei's people fighting Daenerys' people, they were fighting, and then the White Walkers just suddenly erupt out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and then they turn and start working together
Yeah.
towards the White Walkers, and not listening. And Cersei's still like, try and kill them, and they're like, fuck off, we're gonna kill these. And they just her men work with Daenerys, and just a turn, they both fight the White Walkers together, back to back.
That won't happen.
Jon and
I
Jamie,
don't know. Never know.
Jermaine.
I don't know if I'd like
But the
that.
problem is they've now gone to the north to fight them, haven't they?
Yeah.
And Cersei's like, right, that's it, time to rally the troops. While everyone's off killing the enemy that would kill all of us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help out.
I'd like that, but I don't want Cersei to turn. I just want it to be like, her men are like, fuck no, let's fight these together. And she's like, no, you need to listen to me. And some of them should, but I mean, I don't want her to turn. I just want it to be the two sides working against another such, because that'd be a fucking epic battle.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
Using their tactics together as well.
Yeah. I love that bit when she said she was going to kill Jamie. And he was like, I
Do
don't
it, bitch.
believe you. That's
But at the
so-
same time, I thought, because they focused a lot on his face, I thought he was just going to get his sword out and just stick it through his chest or something.
yeah, I thought he
And
was
I
going.
Like, that's that. Cersei, I told you, mate.
Yeah.
I'm shagging Tyrion now.
Oh. She only likes brothers. She's only got.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Do we think that baby's real?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't see why Tyrion would say it otherwise.
You don't know what he would
I
say?
hope the baby's real.
I don't.
You don't.
She's a
Why?
bitch. Because I want Jamie to have. She's a bitch. No, I'm joking. Because I just want it. Well, it would be more of a surprise if it was real now, depending on how they do it. But if it wasn't real, then it'd be like Jamie would have an. Well, he's gone off already. It doesn't matter now, does it? We said he was going to turn on her because of that baby, but he's left now, so it's not as irrelevant. We were like, oh, it'd be cool.
Yeah,
if he
but the
turned on
baby's
her.
not here yet. I don't know. I feel
Still
like
in its embryo stage.
Maybe it's Euron's, an Iron Baby
Nah, I don't think.
spin off in the works. When they're all
The
dead
Iron
and gone, it's
Baby.
just White Walkers. That new baby's trying to take the throne.
Iron Baby and the Secret Men.
I like it. I don't know.
I think the baby's real. I don't understand why they would have put the baby in there if it wasn't going to be at some point used as a bargaining chip or some sort of like.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Well,
I
because
reckon-
that's what we said about her tricking Jamie with it, like making Jamie try and stay true to. That's what I said. It's pretty much relevant now. We said about trying to get Jamie to stay true to her
Yeah.
because he's got her son, his or daughter.
Yeah.
She's got their kid.
But she actually used it against him, didn't she? When she was like, "Oh, you're gonna die," and he was like, "Well, there's only me and you," and she was like, "Well,
Well,
actually,
yeah,
there's
that's what I
one more
mean. Try and get him to
to
stay.
come." Yeah,
I suppose
that
he
ain't
needs to do
gonna
something
happen.
to realise how much of a monster she is.
yeah,
Then
Yeah,
kill the
something.
child.
yeah.
Probably feed it to the mountain.
Maybe there's a White Walker baby in there.
It's not a white.
Maybe.
baby in there.
That white, when it went for her, reached her with its
Impregnated her.
spit It's sunk into her belly button.
That's not how you...
Oh, come on, Mobile. Don't be a dick.
Oh. Sound effects. My stomach just made a noise when you heard that on there.
But, should we say about theories for next season? We talked about this last
Yeah,
episode. We
go
can talk
on.
about what we reckon's going to happen next series.
Yeah.
Oh, White Walk Battle is my big one.
White Walker Battle, while they get turned on each other.
I think there's
Yeah.
going to be some sort of fight in it next season. And if that happens, I've called it. You heard it here first.
I
That's a pretty good guess.
reckon. Is it Drogo? Is that
Yeah,
the
Drogon.
dragon? Drogon. I reckon Drogon and the Ice Dragon will fight, and both of them will die. Then
Ooh.
she's left with one dragon, and then that'll get killed by Cersei in the last battle. All the dragons are going to die, I reckon.
Oh, I don't want all the
Without a
dragons to
doubt.
die.
And then Cersei's going to be like, well, I ain't got nothing to fly on now, and then she'll get killed.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing to
And
fly
then
on
Mr.
now.
Fire and Ice will come in. Then I am the Song of Ice and Fire. I will have the throne, thank you.
That's mine. Thank you very much.
And then the Night King will swoop in and kill him. Well, he won't swoop in because the dragon will already be dead. But
Yeah.
he'll run in on his undead horse, which he's gotten back after he gave it away to some other White Walker and kill him.
I don't know. I
Cool,
think
isn't it?
that Drogon might be the last dragon just because everyone loves him so much, and it'll be like, oh my god, the other two are gone. Don't really give a crap about them anyway. Please don't let Drogon die. And then if he dies, that's going to be like, I feel like he's a character now that everyone
I think they've
cares
definitely
about.
all got to die though, haven't they?
Probably.
Because they're too big and
Take up too much room.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I see when it landed, when she got off in the arena and she landed it. They could
It looks
could
so
yeah,
bad.
it was just so gangly. Like they could have just then and there been like, surprise, here you go, and shot it with an arrow and killed it.
Yeah.
Rage war with one dragon.
I take that back, by the way. I don't think that it looked really bad. I think it looked really bad because of her being on the back of it. I think the dragons actually look really good in their CGI now,
Yeah, the
but
CGI
when
is really
she's
good now
riding
for it.
them, it looks
It does.
awful.
It's just really awkward, doesn't it? Because she's
Yeah.
like flailing about like a rag doll.
Well, it's just that, like, you can tell she's not sat on a dragon, obviously. When they just get a dragon, God's sake,
Get a
no.
real one.
But it does, I think it makes the CGI look really bad. But if she's not on them, I think they look badass now.
Yeah, they do look quite good now.
Yeah, they're
Compared to even the
massive.
5th season, they look a lot
Yeah,
better.
they do. Yeah, no, they're good.
HBO's thought, you know, have every penny we have.
Yeah.
Every other show can suffer just so Game
Yeah.
of Thrones does well.
Oh, I love the dragons. I really don't want them to die. I think they're so good. I get so
I
excited.
definitely think they will.
I've got a good idea how to do this theory thing, right? I'll name a character.
Okay.
Tell me if you think they're going to survive or they're going to die.
When though?
And how, in the last season, if you think they're going to survive or die, and what will kill them, or how they'll survive.
Right.
So you're saying name?
I'll say a name of the character, I'm going to go through, and
Yeah.
each of us to say if we think they're going to
Just
survive
go
or
for main
die.
ones, don't go
Yeah.
with, like Piglet.
Try not to go on too long.
And what? And when they're gonna die?
Or how, not when. 'Cause I'm not
Oh,
going to say
alright.
episode 4, but like just.
Okay. Yeah, go on then.
Okay.
Yeah.
First character, Tyrion.
Dead.
Why? How? I mean, not why. Why?
I don't know how, but I think he's definitely going to die.
Alright.
Oh,
Good
that's
theory.
the
Game,
game,
start.
it's the same time.
Because I thought he was going to die in the last episode, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, I reckon either Cersei's going to kill him or something, or he's going to go into battle and just end up getting absolutely wrecked or something.
I think he's gonna
But
die,
he's definitely going to die.
and I think it's got to be Cersei. Who else is gonna kill him?
Jamie.
Well, do you know
'cause
what? I was
Jamie
just
likes him
thinking
now.
that, but him and Jamie are.
They've
Tight.
they're back to being bros again.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Cersei. I think it would be disappointing if it wasn't Cersei, because as much as I don't want him to die and I don't want her to do it because I hate her, I think that's like everyone. That's you have to see that happen at some point.
But
So
he's,
yeah,
he's definitely
dead
gonna die.
Cersei next.
Alright, I'll be controversial here. I'm going to say survive.
Ooh.
Oh, wait! But
How?
I think.
Oh,
Why?
wow, would
I
he
think
survive?
they'll watch Cersei and
Why
Jamie
not?
kill each other.
At the same
Maybe
time.
not necessarily like that, but I think he'll watch
At
them.
the same time, obviously. No.
No, Jamie will come back as
Yeah.
a White Walker and kill. He'll somehow see them kill each other. So I think, I don't know at what point or how, but just drive each other to insanity and kill each other, and he'll just be left feeling guilty about it all.
Okay.
And I'm just saying he's surviving because you both said dead, so it's interesting.
So-
But no, I do think he might survive because I don't know, just because he's a main character, but he's also not really involved in the fights.
Yeah,
When it
alright.
kicks out, so it's just be interesting to see, because I think it'd be interesting to watch those two kill each other, because those two always at each other's throats.
That would be awesome. Yeah, but they'll have to like stab each other at the same
Well, I
time.
don't mean like, well, not even if they're men. I just mean like waging against each other. They get each other killed. Not necessarily they go and kill each other. I just mean they
okay.
get each other killed.
Oh, alright,
So
yeah.
we now know what you think about Jamie and Cersei, so we'll skip over them ones.
Well, no, I could change, make up new theories. God,
No,
fucking-
don't make them up. You're meant to say what you think is going to happen.
Well, yeah, but they're still making them up. They're not
Yeah,
gonna
but
happen.
you
You
can't.
can only have one theory per character, it's
Yeah,
greedy
and
otherwise.
you've had
Oh,
yours.
right. Well, that's.
Um.
Am I not saying next character?
There you go.
Right. Jon Snow.
Will live.
Survive
Yeah.
for all eternity.
Billy first. Why do you think he'll live?
Well, he's already died once,
Yeah.
so he can't die again. I mean, that's just ridiculous.
That's the rules, can't mate. Don't be
Sorry.
greedy.
Dying.
And because I mean, I suppose he's got to win, isn't he? If he doesn't, then the Night King should get it, because he's
He
literally the
really
next.
deserves
He's
it.
the next
oh my
best
God,
choice.
He's
Yeah,
tried so hard.
he's the
so
next best
deserves
choice
this.
after him. So he's either got to get the Iron Throne or he'd die, and he can't die. So
I think he'll survive because they keep saying Jon Snow always comes back, and I feel like they've said that 2 or 3 times now, and I feel like that's for a reason. That is why. What do you think?
I think he's gonna die. And when they say always come back, he's gonna come back as a White Walker
Flipping it.
because he's the ice of ice and fire, and Daenerys
yeah, but
is
now
the
he's
fire.
fire and ice. He's
What?
fire and ice. He's both.
He is, but in this situation he's not because I didn't think about that. So he's gonna come back as a White Walker.
So, oh, that would be horrible. I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. Well, that was.
What will
that
all
was a
those
silly one.
fangirls do with themselves if he's not in it anymore anyway?
I'll have to
Go watch
masturbate over
Pompeii.
Piggly.
Didn't really hear either. Just said some words.
Pompeii.
Pompeii.
No, he's in
Is it
he's in a series about Guy Fawkes in August.
Is he?
Yeah. Well, there was Guy
Oh.
Fawkes and there was the other bloke. He's playing the other bloke.
Oh,
I don't know who his name is.
what's that going to be on?
That Guy Fawkes.
Oh,
Oh, BBC
channel?
One.
Some great names for the
Guy
program there.
Fawkes,
BBC
told
One,
you.
yeah.
That Guy Fawkes and Guy Fawkes and the other bloke.
I think it's a
That's-
3-parter, but he's playing the other guy. I cannot think of his name. He
Cannot.
wears a hat.
I cannot think of his name.
I
Sorry.
can't think of his. There was Guy Fawkes and there was the guy that made the plan. Guy Fawkes
Guy
was the one
Fawkes,
that did
yeah.
everything, but there was the guy who actually planned it.
Hmm, okay, well,
The
if it's
brains
only
behind the
if
operation.
it's only a 3-parter, he hasn't had to leave his contract on
No, he
Game of
literally
Thrones
looks
to
like
do
Jon
it, so
Snow. To be fair,
he's alright at the moment.
yeah, he looks like Jon Snow.
That's always a good way to tell, is to check everyone's IMDb, and if they have any large projects coming up, then they're probably going to die.
Well, Peter Dink, I just saw a review for his new film Memory.
Oh yeah,
Not very good.
not good.
No.
Oh.
I think it's a free
That's a
film. It's
shame.
on Amazon.
That's a shame because it looked like it had real potential. Like I love the idea. Anyway, we digress.
Next character,
Yes.
the Hound.
Dead.
Oh no! Wait, no.
Actually, no. I
The
don't think he
mountain.
will die.
I hope the mountain dies.
It's
I
weird
think.
to say the mountain. I said the Hound.
No, I know. But I think, but I think they're gonna fight each other, and I think the Hound will kill the mountain, but then I think the Hound will die immediately after.
Yeah, it'll either be that or it'll like ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Those two options. It would be that or just if fuck off in
Yeah.
the sunset.
Yeah, but yeah, pretty much.
I hope it's your one because I love him.
I
He's really good.
think he'll have some sort of, like you said, tie-in, like end to his story. I think it will be the mountain. I think there'll be something to do with fire there. Maybe he'll just get burnt more on the dragons. But I want him to overcome fire. That like his fear for fire.
Yeah.
I want him to burn the motherfucking mountain.
I want him to be a fireman.
Just a fireman.
Just become a become a fireman. Put out the fires that the dragons create. That's
That
how
would
he's
be
overcome it.
a hell of a job.
That'd be
And
awesome.
it certainly wouldn't be a one-man job.
It's a one-man job if you're the Hound. Everything is.
What's he gonna do? Just waggle his sword at it, put it out.
Why? Who are?
He can't do much else. Anyway,
Whee.
next one.
Next character.
Interesting.
Oh, you
characters
have one
now.
job is to name Game of Thrones characters.
Yeah, but I don't want to go for the most obvious one. All right, Sansa.
Dead.
Dead.
Fucking hope so.
Because
Eaten
I'm
by
gonna
a
kill her.
dragon.
Eaten by a dragon.
Yes,
Yeah, I
please.
assume, yeah.
The
That'd
White
be
Walker
so
dragon.
good.
Oh, I assume
Trying
that's
on a
what
dress.
happened.
Eats her.
Yeah, and
I
those
thought
stupid
Arya was
cock
gonna
rings
kill
she
her.
got round her neck.
I thought Arya was going to kill her for sure. Or as she likes to say, Arya, not her name. Very annoying. you're in.
It's like a
Game
best
of
mate in
Thrones.
my life as well. I couldn't get a name right in the programme. What a joke.
It's very annoying.
Who
Nah,
else?
It's alright.
Next one.
Well, wait, instead of you, so you think she's going to get eaten by a dragon, what do you think's going to happen to her?
What to
Sansa.
Sansa?
Sansa!
Sansa. What do I think? I think. I don't know.
Well, great game. That's that then. We'll leave it
Good
there.
answer. I think she. I don't know. I can't ever see her dying. I don't know
I see her
why.
die every night.
So maybe. Jesus Christ. I think maybe she'll live to the end. Yeah, I'm gonna say
fuck her.
live.
She probably will.
She
let's
doesn't
be
gonna say
honest.
need
live.
to. She's a silly bitch. Set her hair on fire and then she's really got red hair.
Oh. Maybe there'll be something with the. No, I think she can live.
I think
Just
I'll
because I
watch
can't
her
think
die.
of how she'll death.
She'll die.
How will she death?
Just why? How would she die? Well, think of the way she could die. There's so many.
I know, but I
think
just.
of them
Do you know
every
what I
night.
mean? The others, I feel like their death is kind of set up already, or there's like someone that's gonna definitely kill them. But now that Littlefinger hasn't really had a chance to kill, not a chance to kill her, but hasn't killed her by any means.
She's expendable.
Yeah,
I'll
she
watch her
is.
die. Main characters need to die. Not every main character needs to die in a dramatic way because that will get really like.
Well, okay. Am
Just-
I allowed to just say for this one? I think she's gonna die, but I don't know how.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I'll let you off. You don't get a point for that, but
Billy did it. It was just like
Oh, I said
that
she
or a
gets
run
eaten
from
by
the
a dragon.
sunset.
you said what?
Eaten by a dragon.
Not for this one. For the one before, you were like, yeah, I don't know. And
Correct.
we let you away with it.
Well,
let you away
let-
with it.
Christ Almighty. Well, I think she's gonna die in a really shitty, boring way, but it'll be satisfying, and it'll just be I will watch her die, or Bran will watch her die as well. I feel like they're gonna see her die. And go, well.
Yeah, but Bran can just roll away. She's like, oh, I'm done with this. I knew
Yeah.
you were
Run
gonna die
away.
anyway.
Roll out.
Roll away.
Just very quickly, Bran. Am I the only one that's really sick of Bran?
He's
Oh, but
a bit
then all the
annoying.
theories and all the ideas about.
Yeah, the ideas surrounding Bran are amazing, but he himself is really boring, and I'm really bored of watching him under that tree. Honestly, they have to do like a shot of the tree and a shot of Bran under the tree, a shot of his eyes, and then we see what he sees. I already know what's coming when I see Bran. I'm gonna see something crazy.
So it's not happening.
I care about Bran when I care about Hodor. I don't care about
Yeah.
Hodor's gone. That's upsetting.
It was sad, but I wasn't as upset as everyone else.
I
and
was
then
drunk when I
everyone
watched
hated
it.
my guts. Oh yeah,
So we were like, ah!
drunk with sadness.
Yeah, I was. No, he just only started saying, hold the door, we're like, oh no! Who's next? I'm not going to say Jamie or Cersei now because you've mugged me right off
No,
of those
we're allowed
characters.
to say.
Yeah, well, tough shit, this game's about me.
No, Jamie.
Alright, Jamie then, go.
would die defending
He'll lose
someone.
his other hand and then he'll just go running around aimlessly until a dragon eats him.
Yeah.
You've got some...
Are
you a writer for the programme?
Apparently.
Because you've got some great ideas of how these people are going to die. He'll ride off, he'll fucking shit get eaten by a dragon, the silly bitch, and he'll probably fucking run around aimlessly and then get eaten by a dragon as well.
Yeah.
I hope he dies defending someone unexpected.
Like Pigley.
I
Big
love
week.
Pigley.
Or
Like
Brienne.
Ping.
Maybe he'll die defending Brienne.
She'll die defending him.
Yeah.
Till
that'd
what's
be
his
good.
face comes in and sweeps her off her feet.
Oh, I hope they get together. That's my one hope. I hope they share the Iron Throne.
What, Jamie and Brienne?
No, Brienne
what's his
and
name?
The White
and,
Walker guy. Tormund.
Tormund. Yeah.
I doubt it.
Please, God. If there's a God. If you're real. No, I hope they get together, and I hope that, yeah, Jamie dies doing that. Although, actually, no, that's not good enough for Jamie. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be really epic.
It'd be
eaten by a
dramatic if he
dragon.
just dies in
Maybe
shut
he
out by
will
a
live.
dragon.
Mm.
Maybe he's the Lord. No, not the Lord. Maybe he's Azor. Is it Azor Ahai?
Also, is anyone who they say they are at the moment, because of the many-faced. That was me falling
Doesn't give a
asleep.
shit. I mean,
Because the many-faced god was literally the most boring thing I've ever watched in my life. I so didn't care about any of that. But they've obviously done it for a reason, because someone's not who they say they are.
oh yeah. It's pretty much. It could be just because we said
What
about him and
if-
Abigail.
Oh no, that doesn't make any sense.
Do it anyway. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, what if Aya was pretending? It doesn't make any sense. What if Aya was pretending to be Littlefinger, and now he's dead, and they've killed Aya, but then who is Aya?
Littlefinger.
Yeah, but he can't change his face.
Maybe he can.
Yeah.
Maybe he can.
Maybe he's Ned.
I feel like Ned's
That doesn't
alive
make any
somewhere.
sense. Yeah, no, not that. I'll cut that out. We're gonna leave it in.
We'll leave it in.
Next
Who's next?
character.
Come on, who can I think of? Yeah. Any of the dire wolves left?
Yeah,
Dead.
where are they? Dead.
Eaten by a dragon.
Go on.
Yeah, Ghost and
Fucking hungry dragons.
Yeah.
Nigeria. What's her name? What's his name?
What?
What?
The Ghost and then
We're talking
Arya's
about
one.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's Jon Snow's one still alive, and
Oh, right.
Arya's one. It's called like Nigeria
Grey,
or something.
grey
isn't it?
butt.
Ping.
What? Ping Piggly? I don't know. But we saw Arya's not that long ago, didn't we? Well, we
Yeah,
possibly
but it didn't
did.
recognise her, so was it hers?
Because she doesn't look like a boy anymore.
No, she's
She
not
kind
like
of still
bloke.
does a little bit.
Yeah,
But
she still looks like a man.
I think the direwolves will come back and then die.
Eaten by a dragon.
Eaten by
this is
dragons.
fucking dark and depressing. They come back and they
It
get
is Game of
fucking
Thrones.
eaten.
It's pretty dark
Yeah.
and depressing. People
It
getting
is.
their skulls.
Very,
hope.
very few good things happen.
Yeah. Do you know who I hate and hope dies? The next character.
Sansa. Who's
Yeah,
the next character?
no. I've forgotten his name. Iron Man. Not
Euron
King,
Greyjoy.
Euron.
Yeah.
So
It knows which one to say you're on Greyjoy because I keep thinking they say
the
Theon.
cocky
No,
pirate.
you're on Greyjoy. No, but I don't like him. I hope he dies in a really. I hope he dies in a really stupid way. I hope somebody completely mugs him
I
off
reckon
and then
Theon
kills
will
him.
kill him.
Yeah, that.
To be fair, I
That
reckon
would be
Theon
perfect.
will kill him.
Exactly that.
I reckon I'll
Mr.
just-
I've not got ballsack.
I think that is what will happen because he was all like, "Oh, I can't do anything," and now he's gonna save his sister.
That's a good point, actually. They're going to run into each other, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
I think he'll
reckon-
kill him.
I think he's going to drown on a canoe.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably what will happen, yeah.
I imagine.
I thought you were gonna say canal, and that you
I
said
reckon
canal wrong.
he'll be in a canoe,
the canoe.
a dragon will burn it, and then he'll get eaten by a dragon.
Oh my god.
That's probably what's going to happen. I think he'll drown in a boat.
Who?
How would you drown on a boat? That's the
If
point
it's
of a
sinking.
boat, that you don't drown.
With Theon behind him.
Who's gonna? Oh right.
On the boat.
Sorry.
That's what do the Titanic
Yeah,
film.
but he'd have
wasn't
to
obvious.
rescue his sister first, or whatever she is to him. I don't know.
I don't know that they banged
Otherwise,
as well,
she
didn't
would
they?
drown. That's true.
Any other characters? Any?
I mean, there's a lot
none that
more.
matter.
Yeah. Is there
None,
any
none
other
that really matter.
Oh, Daenerys.
They'll die.
Die?
Eaten by a dragon.
saying this, I was saving this when we say, I think she'll die and she'll go down on Drogon. I think they'll crash together. She'll go
Get
down on
squished.
him, and I feel if she's gonna die, she's gonna die with one of her dragons that are side down with her.
Okay, but is she gonna be pregnant now? Probably.
Probably
Probs.
because they focus so much on her not
Well,
being
would
able
Jon
to have a
Snow-
baby.
Snow's
have
sperms
children.
be dead, or did they come back to life when he come back to life?
Oh my god.
Probably came back to life when he came back to life
Yeah,
Sure.
but
because everything else did.
I don't
is
know.
he just normal? Is he just human?
Yeah, he's just cutting about normally.
Cutting about, sleeping with his aunt. Normally.
Yeah, but you don't know that, does
He
he?
doesn't know that. Oh, do you think they're going to tell them? They're both just going to be like,
Maybe that's what happened, and he'll
It's
just
gonna-
stab her in the stomach. not having
Bran's gonna go walking into John while he's doing her. Tell him for the mind while they're having sex,
yeah,
and then let him go
yeah,
while they're still having sex. By the way, she's your auntie.
yeah.
And then
And
he'll
they'll be like,
plan,
I'm
oh
cool with
god!
Or
Yeah.
he'd be like, oh, I'm cool with it. I'll tell her later.
Yeah. She doesn't need to know. Get out, Bran.
I already know that, Bran. Shut up.
Sorry about him coming back to life. I'm a bit disappointed with that because I remember when there was all those theories when he came back about him being different or about him being more aggressive or like just the idea of him actually having changed.
What,
I mean,
Bran?
John.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It's like I was just asking for a minute. John, where are you?
John.
But there was the whole idea of him being completely different because it's affected him more because he was half zombie, he was kind of weirdly dead or something like
yeah.
that. I mean, it still could be. He hasn't almost died yet. Maybe if he almost died, maybe he can't die now. Maybe he's immortal.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some weird shit going on that isn't explained.
Oh
Maybe
my
he'll get
god,
stabbed.
he's immortal. The baby will be immortal, and then the baby will be.
The Immortal Iron Fist.
Thanks for listening. No, I think
I'm sure
the
that would be what happens.
baby. No, but the baby is hers, so she'll be like, "That's fine. I'm good to die." But then we're gonna have to skip really far. I don't know.
There is only 8 episodes left.
Yeah, but
the
they're
pace
not
is now
concerned
going
with their
out.
timelines, are they? Let's be honest.
The pace is going out now. The baby will pop out in the first episode.
Yeah,
In the time they've
Walkers will
travelled
have
down
just
that.
got over the wall.
it's gonna it's gonna be half dragon, half immortal man.
I imagine so. I imagine so.
I think with
If we're
John,
honest, that's probably the most logical theory we've come up with so far.
I think John's gonna get stabbed by the Night King, and he's just gonna be like, but then he'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
He's immortal. He would just be like some. Yeah, I mean, I'm just disappointed. I just don't want to let go of the fact that he changed after his death. I mean, he's a better character now.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
so
not as,
much
he's not
better.
as boring.
No, I like him
Because
so
he was
much
a right
more now.
miserable little git before.
You know, they keep saying that he's like a great fighter and stuff. Have we actually seen him doing any great fighting?
John?
Because the one, yeah,
Bad bastard. He's did a bit
Yeah,
of
but
bit.
yeah,
Till he
I
got
don't feel
destroyed
like
by
he
every
ever-
person in it.
yeah.
Do you mean like 1v1s?
Well, I don't know. I don't ever. I feel like whenever we see him in a battle, everyone else is fighting around him, and he's sort of stood there staring off into the distance,
Yeah, but
like
he's still alive, isn't
we're
he?
not gonna win.
They're
Yeah,
all
but
dead.
someone always saves him.
Saying that,
Uncle Benji!
Who?
there's no time.
Swing that fire. There was so much time. Oh, yeah. Come on.
Get on the horse. There's no time.
Yeah, there
I'm
is
gonna watch
time.
you go.
So dumb. But anyway, I don't think he's a great fighter. I think he's just lucky.
Saying that though, have we seen any of the good fighters fight well? Like, have we actually watched? There's not been many 1v1s where, like, I mean, I'm trying to think when Jamie's had fights. I mean, he was practicing with Brom, wasn't he? But I don't remember seeing Jamie have like a.
Didn't
The
he?
Hound has awesome like.
He beat a
wrecking
bear
moments.
though, didn't he, Jamie?
In that pit. No, Brian jumped down. It sounds like just randomly bringing bears in all the time. Do you reckon that was the White Walker bear?
Oh my god.
He remembers Jamie.
Yeah, but Jamie wasn't there.
Jamie wasn't there, was he?
Well, no, but the bear's dead now, isn't it? Forgot about that. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. End this episode then. It's done.
Yeah.
No,
But
but
no,
I
he
think.
beat the bear for Brienne, didn't he?
No, Brian jumped in the pit and was like, "Come on, you bastard bear!" That was
really?
her voice.
Oh,
Yeah, she jumped down.
I don't remember that
Oh,
right then.
no, wait. Was she in the pit to start with and he
Yeah,
jumped
she
down?
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
One
she-
of them jumped down.
Yeah,
yeah,
She
it must
jumped
have been
down.
Jamie then.
Jump
Because she
down.
was in the pit.
Oh, okay.
So
Bear
he
and
can
the
beat a
Maiden Fair,
bear.
that's what it's called.
But
wasn't
the
it?
two
So,
of them together, I think, beat it.
I haven't seen John beat a bear yet.
He
Then
took
I
on that
believe he's a
bloody
great
White
Did
Walker
beat
bear.
a White Walker and the White Bear.
Oh, I have seen John beat a bear in the last episode.
Okay, well, I guess he has quite a
Plus,
lot.
he took on the dead king, or one of his little henchmen,
The Dead King now.
whatever it is.
That was lucky he picked up that sword though. He didn't know that was going to happen, did he?
No.
So,
Yeah, but no one did. Apart from like people who've been dead like thousands of years that fought him already. But
yeah. Well,
Any more characters?
nah. don't
What
think
What
so.
about Pot Pie? Pork Pie? What's
pork
his name?
pie.
No, he was already dead, I assume.
Oh,
It's not-
Pippi
it was the other day.
Longstockings.
Yeah, no,
Is
but
it
that,
the
I think
other
that I
day,
think
the
that
week?
was it. Like that's him done now.
What?
No, I reckon he's gonna.
What? Ping pong?
No, not Pig. No, not Piggly. Fat Pie, where his name is. What's
The
his
Dead
name?
King and the Fat Pie.
Fat pie.
Nail the name,
I
obviously.
can't think of his name.
Hot pie.
That's it. Hot Pie.
Is that right?
It's Hot Pie. Yeah.
Yes.
How'd
Isn't he
you, dead
opened
or
a pie
alive?
shop? Dead, because no one cares.
Yeah, as I say, no one cares about him. He's opened a bakery in London, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's out.
So he's out.
He's out the game.
He's got another job.
Yeah.
Same as the guy that plays Ron Weasley. He's like owns this real estate now, doesn't he?
Ron Weasley.
Yeah.
He
Rupert
wasn't in
Grint.
No, the actor.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not been in anything else because he's like real estating.
Oh, I thought
He
you meant
said
he was
it,
in Game of Thrones.
No, he's
I
not.
totally
He would
missed that.
die straight
It
away.
sounded like he went. Oh, he's got. Ron Weasley has. But he's old. He's got kids now in the film. He's gone to real estate.
Can you imagine if I just
Might
gone
have
along
done.
with it? Like, oh yeah, I remember the episode that he was in. It was really good.
Wizards need houses too.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's
he
not
bought an
talk-
ice cream van and then he went into buying houses or whatever real estate.
Oh, he's
people
all
do.
over the place. What's he doing?
He's got a bit of
Acting,
money
ice
though,
cream
hasn't
van. Come on
Acting
now.
ice cream van.
Doing the...
I'd buy an ice cream van if I just got a bit of money.
I thought you were going to say I'd buy an ice cream off him. Would you buy a house off him?
Probably not. Probably not.
Probably not. Is that it for Game of
I
Thrones?
think that's it.
Yeah, I think so.
It's a good time to stop it.
Oh,
Don't know
yeah.
why. Probably
Ready?
not. We were talking about
Ready?
Ron Weasley and an ice cream van.
Ready? News. That's too
yeah.
quiet.
So quiet. Ready?
Yeah, news, yeah.
Okay, listen it. It's the news. It's the news.
Got we haven't got masses this week.
No.
No, we've got more than last week though.
Yeah.
Wasn't much last week. This isn't well. They've said Stranger Things will end after 4 seasons.
Good. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's about right,
Yeah.
I would say.
I'm glad they've already said well,
I'm
we're stopping it there.
because
Yeah.
I like Strange. I've got a Strange Things t-shirt on right now.
You have got a strange.
But still, I would like it to maybe go for 5.
No.
Though I
it's
still
too
like the
many.
anthology
How can
idea
you like predict you rather want it going for one more season?
because I like it.
Because I like it.
I think for about 5's right. It's the last round number, innit? So it's 4 to be fair. But
No, it's random.
Five's
I
not
don't. The
enough.
only problem I've got if they were doing an anthology,
Yeah.
I can't see how it's going to go past 2 more seasons. What are they going to do after that big spider guy that's in the advert? There could be another big guy.
Well,
It's
why
just
do you want there to be
ridiculous.
5 seasons then?
Yeah.
I
Not
don't
4.
know, just for why not? Do another one.
Jesus Christ! Thank God you're not in any writer rooms.
But like if it was,
Solid logic.
if it was an anthology, like 4 seasons, because you could do like how they'd originally planned it, that would make sense.
Hmm.
But what are they going to do after that? They're just going to go to school and chill for 2 more seasons.
It's
And
more
then
about
go
how
into
these-
Riverdale.
Yeah.
Whatever that, I haven't actually seen that. I assume that's what that's like.
But maybe they won't like defeat this big thing.
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
I
Well, it's only been 1 series, hasn't there?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, idiot. I think there
Second
should only be
one.
3 then. 4's too many.
We didn't see the second one yet. You could think that'd be
Yeah.
like do another 10.
I just
Oh my
think
god,
it
there's
should
a bear, so
centre
it
on
never
11.
ends. What?
I think it's just centre on 11 and not the kids. I think the kids should be.
That's what you said. I think
Should
they
go
should
for
just
11.
do 11.
They can't. No, I think they need to send it on all of them. Really.
Maybe we should wait to pass judgment until the next one starts, and then
Yeah.
we'll decide how many seasons we want.
Well, I can tell you
Well,
one
let
thing
'em
I know I'd like
Yeah.
is a monster a season, and that's how it's gone right now. But I think they could do 4, but they need to have different kind of
Yeah,
monsters
I
every
agree.
season. And they need,
Yeah.
I think they need different abilities or different kind of interests, not just like they look different.
Yeah.
Because they've named the monsters. Obviously.
Well, I'm assuming
like,
the Demogorgon's not going to be in this one.
well, they got
'cause
fucked.
They killed it.
Killed it.
Yeah, but they
What's
did
this
that.
one called again? The
Shane.
What?
Shane.
Yeah.
What was it? The monster for the second
I don't
season.
know yet.
It's like
I haven't
no,
seen it yet.
they've said what it is already.
Oh.
The Kraken.
It is like the Kraken, something
At
like
least
that.
the Kraken.
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna Google it.
All right.
Stranger Things season 2 monster name. If it comes up with Clive or Daryl or something, I'm not gonna be happy.
Shane.
Oh, don't call it Shadow Monster.
Shadow Monster.
What was it called?
Shadow
I know a
Monster.
quick way of doing this. Look at the end of the. Oh, come on now. Oh, leave it out.
Let's just call it the Kraken.
All
Let's
right.
just
Well,
call it the Kraken.
okay. Well, they ended the first season by saying about they had all the pieces on their on Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's
Yeah.
like Dragon, and they had one that was like a height. Vessel Hydra. Vessel Hydra.
That's it. Vessel
Bless
Hydra.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That's it.
Vessel Hydra. Okay, that was it.
You know,
Alright.
we do
Kraken.
know what you're going
Okay.
on about.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Because they say about the end. They say about it at the end of the first series. So if they have a monster every series, that would keep me happy.
Yeah. Okay.
But like I said, it can't really pass too much judgment.
We will
That's probably
see.
enough for that.
We'll see. Yeah. That's enough of that.
Nice posters. I saw the character ones you said about. They're pretty nice. You haven't
Yeah,
seen those yet? They're just
I
their
haven't seen
faces
the
and all that's like
posters, no.
tinted on them.
Ooh.
I think it's something's very strange as well. Next,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Uncharted film. We already know that Tom Holland's meant to be playing Nathan Drake. I was a bit sketchy about that at first
Oh,
because I don't want a young Nathan Drake.
No, and he's Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Like he,
That's
do you
enough.
know, I'm not saying that you can't play another character, but I mean he like right
Iconic
now
character.
he's so big as Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
it's not like there hasn't been a lot of press and marketing with that. I'm gonna have a hard time believing that he's Nathan Drake now, and I'm
Okay,
really
yeah,
sad
I
about
do know
it.
what you mean. I know
I
what you mean.
wish, in a way, I don't, because I think he's a really amazing Spider-Man. Really amazing Spider-Man. It's the title of the
Oh,
film.
nice. Didn't even think about that.
God.
Well.
The same as Chris Pratt Star Lord, though,
But-
isn't it?
Wait.
He is Star Lord,
Yeah, yeah,
so it's hard for him to do other things. Even in
Yeah.
Jurassic World, he's still.
yeah. He's
Still
still a bit
Star-Lord.
Star-Lordy. Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
doing.
think that's always the problem. But in a way, I wish that he hadn't been Spider-Man. He'd just been this. No, I don't. I
No,
just
you
wish he
don't.
wasn't in it. Not because he's not really good. Just I wish it was someone else.
Yeah. I just would rather they didn't do one because the news is now that
But he's playing young Nathan, isn't he?
the film is the whole of it is young Nathan.
Yeah.
This is the news. The news is that they're trying to make it like Indiana Jones for a younger generation, people who didn't get to watch Indiana Jones because they were.
Oh, just
Weren't
watch
born yet.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes no
or-
sense because no young people probably have played Uncharted or like that young. Most people that play Uncharted have got to be in their 20s. I'd have thought, surely.
Yeah.
The problem is just don't make
Oh.
it. Just if they're trying to make like Indiana Jones film for Uncharted, just don't make it Uncharted. Just make
Yeah,
like
make a new one.
like I was saying to you earlier, it doesn't need to be Uncharted. You've got the games, especially the fourth one. They're like films that are like Last of Us. You don't need to make films for everything. Come up with your own idea. It's not a hard idea. The characters are amazing, and Uncharted is amazing, but it's not like a complex idea. It's not you're taking an idea from it. It's it's Tomb Raider. It's Indiana Jones. It's just an archaeologist or an
I think
explorer.
it's always really upsetting when they take a game you love and say they're going to make it into a film because you already
Always
know it's
shit.
going to be a
Yeah,
disaster.
Assassin's
Yeah.
Creed. That was,
Yeah, oh my god,
Hey,
it's so.
that's the fact.
Yeah. Well,
It
we'll
is.
see.
There's games that I like.
I mean, yeah, we'll just have to.
BioShock. I'd like to see if they were interesting.
They
But
shouldn't
this
have
is such a
Bioshock one, especially
Oh,
not,
no,
on
they ruined
not on the third one.
No.
Because one, it would be literally all CGI because you can't build a city in the sky, and
nice little rhino.
two, it just wouldn't work.
That was a nice
The
one.
tagline for the
So
that's the
CGI,
tagline for
you
this
can't build
episode.
a city in the sky.
Just have that on the bottom. You say that, but apparently someone at work the other day said what
No, you
said,
said that.
Built a city
no,
in the sky.
said why are we advertising Blade Runner? It's not out till 2049.
That's genius.
What is that all about? Those sort of people should be getting cold.
And that's
Not that I advertise that sort of thing.
That's the people
but-
that we hire.
Those
to
are the
work
people
at
should be getting
cinema.
eaten by dragons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they should be eaten by dragon.
Um,
So good.
yeah, just don't make it Uncharted because
Yeah.
especially if you're aiming for younger audiences. If that is not just for younger, if you're aiming for younger audiences, because especially the fourth Uncharted, the reason why I love that one the most is because it feels so human and it feels so sort of
And
mature
it's like watching a little film that you just get to make decisions in and do the fights for.
and it's not
it's
like
already-
a game. And the game is cinematic. The
yeah,
game
that's what I mean.
yeah, plays like a film, whether it's really interactive or not. It's not like a cinema, it's interactive enough, but it doesn't ever feel like it drags or like you could condense it down.
No.
It works how it is, and just play a fucking video game instead of watching always films.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
just
just
play
good. They're
Uncharted
great
4,
stories.
which was a great game.
Yeah.
Well, they're all great, but
You
just
got
play all
It's
of
so
them.
stunning as well. Like the film's not going to be as good.
No, you couldn't do half the things they do in
Mm-mm.
the. You couldn't hang a car off the edge of a cliff. Well, you could, but
You
it
could,
wouldn't
yeah.
be believable.
Well, this was how
Not that the physics in that game are believable, but
No.
still.
Well, this is what I said when the game come out is it doesn't work in films. If
No.
you try and film, you get Transformers. If you put it in games, it's fucking awesome to
Yeah.
play. It's awesome to work around because it's a game and it's. But then in films it doesn't work. If you want to watch Uncharted physics and mechanics in a film, go watch Fast and Furious. That's what you get.
Well,
I'll
we'll
watch it
see.
still.
Yeah,
Get
we're
ready.
all going to watch it, but we'll see. Maybe.
Next bit news.
Yeah.
Got there's loads of stuff with DCEU at the moment.
Yeah.
The news is we've had we can mention a little bit that they've said about Batman was its own thing, isn't related linked to the others, and now the director's come out and said no, it is. That's not
It's
true.
the
Was it
same
Matt
u-
Reeves? Matt
yeah,
Reeves is directing.
Yeah, I think someone mentioned some little thing, and everyone was like, right, so it's not
Change.
for it, and then just completely blew it out of proportion, and then it was like,
Saying
no, it's
it
not
wasn't
true.
part of the universe, yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
and
in
it's
the
not true.
universe, but it's not going to follow anyone else. It's a Batman story, but it is in the
Yeah.
same universe.
Which
Yeah,
it should be.
yeah.
sort of thing.
And now I'm quite excited for that actually.
I'll say what I wanted to.
Love
I don't know my DC Comics very well,
No,
but
I
I can
don't.
tell you very much. The things that they've hinted at in the other films, they should make this one about, or make the other thing I have to get into in a second. But about Robin, about what happened to him, why he's not around, because his costume with all the writing, what is, if the Joker killed him, or if he is the Joker,
Mhm.
you should go on that because that'd be a very cool story, and
Yeah.
everyone wanted that when they saw all the other stuff in the
Yeah.
other films. The news actually was though there was that, but then there's also they've said about making an origin story for Joker.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be cool. But then there was also news this week that apparently all the things that people said about Jared Leto on the set weren't actually true.
Oh
That
really?
it was publicity, yeah. That it was ridiculously over.
To try and build the
I would've
hype.
thought-
Hyped, yeah.
I would have
Yeah,
thought
okay.
so, but I don't know why they bothered to do that. He's barely in Suicide Squad.
Because he was originally, they cut him all out of it all.
I
Either
did-
way, if it's not him and Joker's origin story,
I did like him in it. I thought he was an alright
Yeah,
Joker.
no, he's fine. Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so many things they could do with it.
Mm.
but it's not Joker. He's a gangster. He's not. He doesn't feel
Yeah, but
like
there is
Joker.
there is a
It
gangster
doesn't feel
Joker,
like
isn't there?
Joker.
There is an arc where there is a
Jankster.
jankster.
There's been some generations of Joker. That's
Yeah.
what I learned
Yeah.
before.
But I suppose the problem is now everyone thinks Heath Ledger's Joker is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That's the
it's
problem. And
just
you couldn't try and recreate that,
and
unfortunately,
not
because he is
not
dead.
this
and it's
soon
a
either.
different.
Like
Yeah.
everyone's still riding
Either
that
way,
wave. Yeah.
Either way, it's got to be something different. So,
Yeah.
and a gangster one is probably the closest you're going to
Yeah.
get to being completely mental.
Yeah. Again, yeah, I haven't seen obviously anything for it yet, so it's hard to say. But
Anyone know enough about DC Comics here to know what you want the Joker origin movie to be on? I don't.
no, me neither.
Well, you
Maybe
could
make
do-
that one
what's-
about Robin.
What's the one where the Joker? Well, 'cause the Joker dies in it. But that whole thing he does, where like he creates the carnival theme park thing and then brings the Batman to it. That would be kind of
Oh,
cool
that's
as a way to kill the Robin. But then
the Killing Joke.
yeah,
what
that's
that
it.
is.
The Killing Joke. Yeah.
Fucking dark.
Yeah, they could do that, but then obviously the Joker dies at the end, doesn't he? So
They just did the Killing Joke as an animated film very recently, or in the last
Yeah.
year, and people, I don't think, were very happy with it.
Mm.
But no, that'd be pretty interesting. But then I
Yeah.
guess that wouldn't really be an origin story. I don't know. It's
What's
again, it's
the-
just holding on to the things people know are popular. Like it's like, oh, the Joker's very popular.
Yeah.
Let's try and cling on
yeah,
to
because
him.
there are other DC villains they could do. But the problem is I can't really take the Penguin seriously. He's so
I thought you said Piglet.
yeah, Piglet. Yeah,
What
The
did you
Penguin.
say? Oh,
the
penguin.
Penguin. I can't take him seriously. I just don't think he's like decent enough.
No.
The Riddler would be cool.
Yeah.
I reckon the kid out of Detroit. Well, he could do the Riddler really well. I
Oh
reckon,
yeah.
To be fair.
Ooh.
I think whoever
Yeah.
directs what needs to look at all the source material. I'm just linking this to another bit of news that about Death Note, the film, the Netflix original that's just come out, which
Yeah.
is based on an anime and
Apparently
it's
absolute
manga.
rubbish.
I saw a quote saying the director said, "Oh, he didn't think it was relevant to to read the manga before directing it." If you gave me a product to make a film on, I would look at everything to do with that,
Yeah.
because there could be some fucking awesome stories hidden in there, or some like awesome things hidden in there, like characters as such that you could put into your film. And I understand trying to make something your own thing.
I was gonna
but
say, I understand when people say that, oh, I didn't want to like watch that other actor's performance of this role that I'm playing because I wanted to make it my own. But that doesn't mean you don't do your research. Like, if you're
Yeah.
directing something, you need to know everything that there is to know about it. Surely.
Mm.
And that shouldn't sway you anyway, even if you want to be like, understand it's because you watch other films.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to sway you. Everything you
Yeah.
watch is going to sway you or like inspire how you do it or how you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I just think you need to. So if you're doing a Joker origin story, you need to look at all of his different origins,
Yeah.
all the different styles of Joker, and you need to think what has been popular, what people like, what is well written, not just
Yeah.
here's one way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll see.
I think. Not bad about news. The other thing I say maybe worth mentioning is the old James Cameron Wonder Woman War. I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
So have you seen anything about this?
I read a bit about it. I can't remember what he said, but
The-
I remember reading it on Twitter, but I can't follow it.
He started it by saying about I don't want to. He started. He said I don't know why He pretty much essentially just started by saying he pretty much said I don't know why Wonder Woman. It feels like a step backwards, because it feels like she's more of like a sort of she's sort of objectified.
The fact that everybody's saying that she's like the only good female character role model that that we have at the moment. He's saying that actually that's completely wrong because she's so sexualized and I haven't read a ton on it. I know that's what he said.
So sexualized and objectified
Yeah.
and sort of glamorized as well. She's very glamoury, whereas and he said she's not like Sarah O'Connor where she's like sort of brutal. She's not sort of like
no, I don't see
strong.
that as a bad thing because that's like saying Captain America is hench, so it's bad
Yeah,
because it's
I think,
objectifying his hench. She at the end of the day, she's a woman,
yeah.
so why would she not wear things that make her look like a woman?
It's not.
Like, it's a bit-
I think that's the whole like thing now is that people are saying like, oh well, because she's. I don't know that she's sexualized. I think she's
No, I don't
wearing
think she is.
not a lot of clothes, which But that's the whole thing. It's about you should be able to wear what you want to wear, but then obviously if you're not wearing a lot of clothes, people are going to comment on that. But I don't.
At the end of the day, though, she
Oh my
is
God,
she
it's
is a
just
woman.
minefield,
Like at the end of the day, she's a woman. That's like saying a guy superhero shouldn't have his muscles out. Like it's the same argument. Or like Thor shouldn't have his shirt off. Or how dare he have his arms out in this film because he's showing off all his muscles or something. Like it's basically the same thing.
I don't know if this comments was so much as about her physical appearance. I thought it was more that I think it's just her as a whole. Like she's sort of she's because I think it's something about her being charming and sort of like I said, quite glamorous. She doesn't feel like quite a like.
Doesn't feel like gritty. That
No.
was actually something that I said when we watched it, was that I didn't believe that like a lot of the people she was like taking down. I know she has superpowers, so that's
No, she doesn't look strong.
but she doesn't like she's not muscly, is she? She's
No.
like supermodel sort of thing.
Like that's the thing I like about Scarlet Witch. I mean, I do like Elizabeth Olsen anyway, but like her character, you believe she can do all that stuff, and she's not doing anything beyond what she looks like she can do. Whereas with Wonder Woman, like you say, she is quite thin. She's not particularly muscly, so it doesn't necessarily, for what she can do, it doesn't necessarily look right. But then at the same time, that might have been the look they're going for, that she doesn't need to look muscly to be strong or whatever. She can.
I think it's more an issue of blockbusters, and I mean, you look at Atomic Blonde. We didn't say anything about the way she was sort of dressed in that, because I think because it suited the character and it felt gritty. She looked fucking wrecked at times. It felt a bit more. I mean, I know it's not a superhero, and so it probably did feel a bit unrealistic, but.
But but we did say about her. We did say that there was a lot of scenes where she was like tucking her mic into her bra. And
But it felt a lot more. But it didn't feel as glammed up. Like I know what you mean. But
I think the point he's trying to make is that everyone's saying this now about Wonder Woman. I can see both sides, because I understand that we don't really have like a big female superhero, and that is good that there is one that is a good role model and is a kind person, is a nice person, and is also like really, really strong. But then equally, you've got to see the other side of that. There's a lot more that aren't necessarily like big mainstream superheroes. There's a lot of good female role models in films, and I don't know if you said it was just about films. Again, I haven't read a lot on it, but I can see both sides of it, basically.
Well, it leads into what I was about to say about it being blockbusters. That it's more the issue of what people tend to watch. We just said in the last few years you've had Sicario and you've had Arrival, where Amy Adams and Emily Blunt are both incredible, and they're not necessarily like kill everyone, but they are very good characters, not just because they're strong. They're good characters because they have depth, and they have weaknesses as well. They have very much weaknesses, and
that's the point. Yeah, you've got to have a good woman character that's got to be written well.
Yeah,
that's why I like when everyone was saying about the Doctor thing. I would rather they create a character that is good and new than just do something for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Woman Doctor, for instance, might be really good, but it's always been a man.
Yeah. Just create a new good woman character rather than saying we should make this character a woman now. Yeah. Again,
which
with
they
that.
did with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she's already been done before, but not really well. Whereas now they've brought it more into the mainstream.
Yeah, I think again with that whole Doctor Who thing, I can see the argument on both sides.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
it can be a woman, and people shouldn't be saying, "Oh, well, I don't want to see a woman because it's a woman." But equally, Doctor Who, it has always been a man. Yes, it could be a woman. Technically, everyone's saying, "Well, the law of Doctor Who, it could be a woman." It could, but iconically and historically, it is a man, and I don't feel like this is going to feel. I could be completely wrong. Obviously, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm not saying, like you said, I'm not saying that she won't be great in it, but I don't think for me it's going to feel like Doctor Who anymore.
I think a lot of people
with it being a
like
woman,
that.
I think that's fine. Like, I think when people are saying like, "Oh, well, you said it should be a man because it's always been a man." Well, you need to like change the way you're thinking. It isn't about that. It's not that at all.
I know what you mean with Doctor Who, but I've gotten to the point now I've just accepted and being like, well, they said last series, the final series of Peter Capaldi, they said that was a reboot essentially. So now Doctor Who's become a film where it's like it's in and out. You enjoy some of them, you hate some of them. You don't really like some of them, you love some of them. Like it's just
you watch it. They just need to create more iconic women characters. Again, with like Scarlet Witch in the Marvel film, she's not used to what she could be.
No.
Because she's like an insane character.
Yeah.
And they've not really used her that much. Not really for what she can do. They could easily have a whole film with her in it, but they've not done it yet.
Maybe it's a nice idea because Doctor Who is one of the sort of entering points of nerdy stuff, and it has a big female audience. So maybe it's nice having a female Doctor. Maybe people absolutely love it. I think a lot of people do, and I think that's fine because
I just think they should create more female better ones. I think it's probably more the answer, not necessarily more,
But that's the
better
thing. There
ones.
are really good ones. They just never noticed. Like I said about Arrival and
Yeah.
Sicario, Jessica
Yeah.
Jones. That was a great. That's
Yeah.
one of the better
She's
series.
yeah.
She's brilliant. Whether she's a hard
She's an
alcoholic.
alcoholic,
Or, video games exactly the same. You've got video games with them. They've completely recreated Tomb Raider. That'll be another franchise soon led by a female. There's loads of stuff. It's just it doesn't. And again, if you're going to say about Wonder Woman being pushed for the Oscars, which is frustrating, not because it's Wonder Woman, because if you're pushing a superhero film for the Oscars, look at all the other stuff we've had. Like some of the other films we had this year should be pushed for the Oscars. If you're going to put like a mainstream blockbuster, Logan should get that. For that.
Yeah.
There should be
Yeah.
because while it's female lead, it wasn't. It's not to do with that. It's the fact that it wasn't a fantastic film.
No, if it was, I know it's Wonder Woman. I know people have said that before, but if it was a guy, the exact same story, but it was a guy, it really wouldn't be that great. I don't think, not really.
And if you're pushing it to the Oscars because it's female and it's female led, push something else to the Oscars. Not maybe not Detroit, but you've got Catherine Bigelow. So push a female director to the Oscars. She's the one. Wonder Woman isn't winning
Well, no,
anything
because
in the
Patty
comics.
Jenkins did a
She's not
decent
holding a
enough job.
trophy. It's
Was
a
the
character.
director, yeah. Patty Jenkins was a decent enough director for it, so I don't see why she couldn't.
Push female and she I mean the film's absolutely good. She's done a good job because the films in the DCU before that were absolutely fucking appalling,
Yeah.
and everyone's gone thank God. But just push a female and if you're going to push the Oscars, why was Rey in Star Wars never? I know people might dislike her, but that's a female lead. She essentially was the lead in that film, whether it was ensemble or not. She was the lead.
Yeah.
And no one I don't remember there being much of a fuss about it being a female lead.
It's just a shame because I feel like there's a certain group of films that will be considered for Oscars, and there's a really, really big group of films that won't be. And
Yeah.
also the Oscars feel like the be all and end all because they're really mainstream again. But like I feel like it's just such an elite sort of group of stuff. It's like these films and these awards.
Without a
it
doubt.
doesn't-
It's always the same films. I mean, you can look enough at what won last year. Like, I must admit I still haven't seen Moonlight, but I don't think La La Land should have won. I mean, I know it didn't, but
What?
Oh,
if it had done, I don't think it was necessarily the best film out of all the
No.
ones that were done.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the score and stuff was okay, but I didn't think it was phenomenal.
Yeah, well, I think that's the shame is that like there's so much around Wonder Woman now just because it's like a mainstream thing and it's a comic book film, and yes, it is the best one so far in that series, but actually it's just it's just one film. Like there's so many, like you say, there's so many good films and better female characters, but it's because this one's so mainstream that it's getting so much attention. But that's always going to be the way. So until like smaller films get a bunch more recognition, which they probably won't, there's still going to be these silly arguments about like female characters and stuff, and like if people aren't going to take the time to watch other smaller better films with better female characters, and they're going to keep just arguing about this
to be
same
fair,
group
for
of
the sake of patty cakes, will be like that.
yeah.
Miss
That's supposed to
Sloane.
have Miss Sloane.
Yeah,
There is films out there. You just gotta find. You just gotta look for them. Like you say.
but they won't.
Same
They
Oscars,
won't be. Yeah. Anyway,
same with Oscars really. Same like you said about having, but it's a sensible film. But I wonder if it's to do how publicised they are. Because Captain Fantastic won nothing, and that's quite a similar kind of style for you to manage and define there. The Oscars are a bit of a letdown because I certainly think War for the Planet of the Apes and a
just
few other
whatever
films.
got.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't rate the Oscars that much.
No,
I
because
don't.
it's just the biggest budget films, isn't it? It's very rare you'll find something.
Films
that was-
about serious matters,
Yeah.
but they can't be serious matters where they're
True stories.
fictionalised. They have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. That's all
Yeah,
news.
that's it. That's good.
Sweet.
I'm so hot. We need to open a window.
I'm gonna
so
melt.
Yeah, it's
let's
boiling.
wrap this
Absolutely.
up.
So for next week,
Yeah.
see what we're gonna do because we haven't really got many releases that we're overjoyed about.
No.
Probably gonna do summer films, summer best. Well, not just best, just
A
notable summer
discussion
releases.
of notable releases that we had time to watch over the
Yeah,
summer.
so
Yeah, the ones we
the
bothered
sort
to
of
go see.
big-ish ones.
Bye.
Bye.
Well,
Thanks for
that's
listening.
it. Thanks for listening again. If you want to share and subscribe, we should probably start saying that.
We
'cause-
should start
Yeah,
saying
probably
that.
should. Yeah.
and putting it on the videos because
That
everyone
would
seems to
be
hate us.
nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Like it, share it, subscribe it,
Peace.
and don't
So,
get eaten by a dragon.
You know what though?
Don't
We
get
can't
eaten
tell you
by
what to
that.
do.
We can.